So I'm in the driver's seat, and I gotta say, it's an interesting feel to it. Right off the bat, I get the feel that they were going for something sporty for a younger market. I mean, the inside makes it feel like it's sporty, but it's kind of like a sporty hatchback cross. It's hard to explain. I mean, you got features that I guess are meant to attract a younger buyer, like this door handle that's not really attached to anything. It's kind of suspended in midair to make it cool, you know? But you got power windows, power locks, chrome accents on the door handle. Strange positioning for the window adjustment here, but it's there. The wheel has Bluetooth phone controls, volume controls for the radio cruise. Missing my center holder. Bad job on that, Hyundai. Nah, just playing. Radio is laid out in a way that's similar to most Hyundais these days. Connections down here for iPod, USB, and auxiliary. Plain looking gear shift with plastics. This is all plastic. It's a coated kind of plastic, so it's not as cheap as it could be. Hollow plastic all along the door. The whole door panel is hollow plastic in this Veloster. And here you go. Accents on the seats. They were obviously going for a younger crowd. Big speakers. That's something I got to point out in this thing. The sound system is better than what I'm used to from Hyundai. Let's start it up. Unfortunately, I can't really play music, but you get a screen that's not really featured in most of the plain Hyundais, like the Sonata and Elantra. AC controls laid out here in the middle. FM, AM, XM, CD player, media, all laid out, pretty easy to use and read. You actually get a touch operated radio in this Veloster. Something else I don't usually see from Hyundai. You know? And look at that. A colored graphic screen when you change your stations. It's not all plain and gray like the regular Hyundais, like the Elantra and Sonata. So they really tried to make this one stand out a little bit. It's a little tight up here in the front. It's not roomy at all. So if you're a bigger person, you might as well scratch this one off your list, unless you're gonna not have people riding with you at all, because you're gonna have to let the seat all the way back. I'm only 5'8" and I'm cramped. My legs are right against the steering wheel. I guess I could slide the seat back, but that leads to another issue with it. The terrible back room for the passengers. Let's take a look at that. So a rather interesting design choice. You would think it's a 2-door, huh? Nah, the Veloster does it different. They make it a 3-door. Why? Simply because they can. You got a door in the front and a door in the back on the right side. Leg room? What leg room? Who needs leg room? Oh, man. Oh. Wow. Okay. I can't even get back here. I can't even get my legs in. Literally. I'm not exaggerating. I can't. I lied. I can. But I gotta do this. Okay. Cup holders are back here, but I feel sorry for you if you gotta be a passenger in the Veloster. This is uncomfortable. And the seats ain't even let back too far. I mean, I guess you could slide them up some more. Yeah, this seat is kind of let back a little bit. But look over here where I was sitting. And I was cramped. And you only get a little bit of leg room in the back. So the interior feels like a sports car. You know, these are how sports cars are made in the back. They're real cramped. And this is the view, which I meant to show you from the rearview mirror up there. You're always going to have that bar in your line of sight. And some accents up top. You know, if you were riding in the back of this thing, if you could actually fit back here, you could ride and look up at the sky. You know? An interesting view. Speakers pounding right in your face. This is definitely made for a younger market. Shout out to the center console. It's not a bad looking vehicle. as far as the design of it. But it's not made for passengers, that's for sure. It's like they really want to be cool, you know. They gave it 3 doors, but you know, what's the point? I mean, why not just make it a 4-door or a 2-door? What's the point? One person can get in easy, the other person still got to squeeze in. I know you don't expect somebody to crawl through. It's different just to be different, you know. And I don't know. I mean, I don't hate that, but it's gimmicky. That's a good word for it. It seems gimmicky. Let's look at the trunk hatchback, whatever you want to call it, and see what it looks like back there. Little knob back there to open it. Well, you don't really have length in the trunk, but you have depth. So you can load things. It's a pretty deep trunk, but not a very long trunk. So that's what you got as far as storage space. Not much. Here's a shot of that rear view mirror I was talking about. See how you got that in your view all the time? That might get on some people's nerves. I could see myself getting used to it, but I think I noticed the rear view camera back on that thing too. Yep. Rear view camera. So as you're backing up, you can see what's behind you. That's a nice touch. Nice on the screen. If you check out that Hyundai Elantra review, that's what I was saying. You might find a feature like that in this trim, in a better trim of that car, I mean. On the road, as you drive, hold on, let me buckle up and stop that beeping. I always forget that before I start recording. You're definitely gonna hear the road. It's a hollow sounding car, if you know what I mean. Some cars have you can just tell they're not really made for shock absorption and absorbing road noise. This is one of those cars. The shock absorption is a little better than the Hyundai Elantra though, so that's nice. I don't feel the bumps as much, but I definitely still hear them. Acceleration is still sluggish, so it's definitely not a sports car, even though they try to... Am I blinding y'all with that sun? Let me go down a little bit. They try to give you the impression of a sports car, but it's definitely not sporty driving. Acceleration is very sluggish, so it takes a while to get up to speed. You're not gonna be stopping the red light and challenging somebody in a Mustang. That's for sure. But, you know, I'm sure the gas mileage is good. Hyundai has been doing well in that area. And I gotta give it points for being a little better on the road than the Hyundai Elantra that I drove in the last video. As far as the feel. But that just might be down to the tires. I didn't compare what tires they had, but I doubt that would make a difference. I think it's just the suspension itself. So, this is the Hyundai Veloster 2015. And it's time for the average guy review score. So, it's tough to score a car like this. I mean, it's definitely made for a niche market. Niche. I don't really like that word. It's like, how do you really work that into a sentence? I think I kind of failed right there. It's built for younger buyers, I think. So, I think they would love it. I think if you got this for like your son or daughter and they were just in high school, going to college, they would love it. It's got the tech features that most young people want. A decent sound system, a big screen. That's what young people really look for. But if you're an adult, I don't know. I don't know if this would be up your alley. It's cramped. It's not big. So if you're a larger person, you're in for a rough ride. So based on the market I think it's made for, you know, I guess I could give it a 3.5 out of 5 for that market. But if you're a larger person or an adult, you might rate this even lower. You might give this like a 3 out of 5. It's not bad. It's going for a certain target market. So take that into consideration. And if you like it, roll with it. Even though I gave it kind of a lower score, I don't hate it. I'm just reviewing it based on what I think most people in the real world would think of it and look for. Average car review guy signing out.